Hello and welcome to today's Stocks and Crypto TA Charts live stream with me, No FOMO Charts. Today is July 10th, 2022. It's about 10:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to go over stocks, commodities, forex, and crypto today with a strong emphasis on stocks because in the USA and globally, stock market earnings season begins this week. So it's a big deal. There's a lot of news that happened in the past week, especially this weekend. So let's jump right into it. So first things first is in terms of stock market earnings season, if you are in my Discord, I just released my weekly watch list. Just bring up on the screen here. So some of the earnings that we're looking at, you might not be able to see it, but Pepsi, Delta Airlines, Conagra Brands, major food producer. The big theme for this week, it's financial and bank earnings. JP Morgan Chase, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock, State Street, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, and more. And then we also have Taiwan Semiconductor in there. So there's a lot going on this week. There's also economic data, the CPI, the PPI data and the core data, retail sales, consumer sentiment, and unemployment claims, manufacturing index. All of this is going to have an effect on the market. So it's important to know generally what's going to happen in terms of what's on the schedule. Because the stock market, there's always a schedule, there's always a calendar. If you ever worked in a corporate office before, most corporations, they run on some general schedule. So the stock market does the same thing. Also, we have news. Some news I'm going to skip, but the big news for this week, stock market earnings season begins in 1 or 2 days. COVID cases are increasing globally. So that's something to watch out for, especially in China. We're seeing it increase in China again, in the US as well, and in Europe as well. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson resigned. The Japan ex-Prime Minister Shinzo Abe passed away. And for retail sales this week, we have Amazon Prime Day and Target Deal Day. So those are retail like sales events happening this week. Elon Musk backed out of the Twitter deal on Friday. And so Twitter hired a law firm and they're going to sue Elon Musk because it was a $44 billion deal. The issue was the spam bots data. And then the Google stock split starts on Friday after market close. So basically next Monday, Google will stock split. So if you're my Discord, I release this type of free watch list and it gives a good idea of what's going on in the stock market. Very important, very important. So there's less surprises. Also, I should point out the Tesla factory, the Germany factory is going to shut down for 2 weeks. So that's going to have an effect. Okay, let's jump into S&P 500. Here we go. So what's going on? Looking at S&P 500 futures, ES1, we are starting to get a little pullback. Now, all the news that I just said, it has not been priced in. Not all of it has been priced into the stock market, which is why I'm anticipating we're going to see some moves this week. We are in a nice uptrend, but it's very, very short-term daily uptrend. We just barely made the definition, right? We need to make one more higher low. But the problem is we do have this double top right at 39.29, which I'm a little concerned about. So, and we are getting this evening star pattern, bearish reversal candle, triple pattern that's happening in the futures right now. So that coupled with earnings could produce some serious volatility. So if we look at two scenarios, let's say all the financial companies have mixed or negative earnings, then you can see the downside targets immediately 37.53, the bottom of the support channel. Here, yes, we're in a small uptrend, so we could draw a triangle. Say, isn't it ascending triangle? Yes, but unless we break out, it's not really ascending triangle yet. So I'm looking at the support of 38.29 and 37.62. I just leave those in purple. So the bearish scenario, we want to watch out that it's not going to turn into a end of May, June scenario where it consolidated and then it just crashed all the way down. Right? If that happens, stock market, I would not be surprised. On earnings, volatility, let's say it's bad, boom. pull back down to the downside. The opposite is true if we have a bearish reaction. I mean, excuse me, if we have bullish earnings, bullish news, even though it was negative news for like a week, it could just easily break out and try to break the 4,000 resistance to the upside. Keep in mind, this is more of a swing trading investing, so I'm not going into the 1 minute, 5 minute on purpose on this stream. Try to keep the longer term perspective. So even on the 4 hour, you can see the support level 38, 31 down here in the yellow circle. That would also backtest the yellow trend line on the top, so it makes sense. Nothing's really low oversold except for 15 minutes. So 4 hour, 1 hour, you know, a pullback is definitely possible. Definitely possible. All right, quick look at NQ1. It's going to be similar, but we still need to pay attention to it. These are tech stocks. So I'm anticipating that Twitter, the lawsuit, it's going to affect NASDAQ tomorrow. It's even going to start affecting NASDAQ tonight, right? So it's something to watch out for. We did hit this target, our 12,100. This is why technical analysis works. And we also have the resistance on the top. So just be careful. There's resistance. Just rejected down from it. The Twitter lawsuit, that's not good. Everyone thought it was going to happen, right? So the higher low could pull back all the way down to 11,742, right on this blue line in the middle. I'm still going to leave the X targets because that's symmetrical triangle measurement. So I'll just leave that alone. One thing to point out is I do see this resistance on top. Let's see. We did break out. Maybe this could explain why, for example, even though we had a lot of bad news, at least for traders were noticing like, wait a second, this is kind of like an uptrend. So just watch out for it that we might pull back down. Opposite's also true. If we break out bullish, going straight to 12,665, the top X. So if we pull back, it could go down to here. So that's a plus or minus. It's like plus or minus 3%, which is a lot for the index. Okay, Dow Jones, really fast. Dow Jones, you can see again this triple candle off this doji candle, evening star, shaping up. So just want to watch out for that. Similar, there wasn't quite the easy double top to spot, but it is there. So I'll draw that in yellow box. And just want to watch out for it. There's an intraday trend line here. If we lose that, if we lose right here at 31,000, that's not good. It'll just pull back, likely retest and go down in that scenario. But if we hold the 31,000, we should be able to push up to 3150, 31.5K, break out, and then try to break out of the top trend line. It's basically, to my eyes, with this trend line, we're stuck in the middle. So when we're in the middle, I'm not excited about anything. It could just go either way, whichever way the news and the earnings breaks. Because down here, I mean, it was really low down here in the arrow. So I went long here on stocks, sold here, that swing trade, I'm out. I did trade a little bit again here, but I closed that. And I told people in the Discord just what I closed. I closed AMD long, and then I'm out. So it's a fresh start for this week off the news. So just watch out for that. I'm just going to back out for it to NQ1 really fast just to see our 4 hour chart for swing traders. It's a lot of colors on the chart, but it's still the short-term EMA is up cross. But again, the momentum is starting to fade a little bit on the 4 hour, and the 1 hour is still uptrending on our EMAs, but it's not any oversold or overbought, right? So it's really up to the day traders to set the pace, set the momentum tomorrow. All right, so let's jump to some commodities, metals, and we'll just move along here, and then we'll look at. Actually, let's take a pit stop at XLF. XLF is the financial ETF. So let's move all the drawings. It's important because XLF contains all the bank stocks, the major ones. So it's still downtrending. Now we pushed up into our resistance EMAs here at $32, $32.22. There's a gap support on the bottom. Just want to keep in mind the long-term view is we're still downtrending. It's still a bear market. So the question is, everyone's thinking, are we going into recession? Are we going to crash more or not? Is it done? So for me, what I'm waiting for is as long as the price never goes below 30, at least on this chart, XLF, right? 30, 50 right here, this blue line, that's the bull's last line of defense for this chart. As long as the price never goes down below that, we're basically fine, right? Because that's the lowest price in this year of this chart, right? So basically, if the price stops dropping, it's yellow light. And then if it non-stop rallies, then definitely green light. But we're hitting this resistance. It's starting to tighten up a little bit, right, into a triangle. And there's several support levels down here that I'm watching that if we lose those, then okay, we know we're going to get another bear break to the downside off this earnings. But if it breaks up to the upside, that's phenomenal, right? Because it could definitely hit this higher high at 33.33 at the top. That's also our gap resistance. We have a gap window here. We have a gap here. So we're just kind of stuck in the gap. There's another gap down here as well. So all these support levels, they're here. But still the trend is down. So we're not out of the woods yet, so to speak, in terms of turning into a bull market. Not yet. Far from it. Not yet. Same thing with crypto. We'll get to it. We just rallied into the triangle and we're just trying to survive here. Bulls trying to survive here, right inside the triangle. The weekly, again, this double bottom was suspicious. We bounced off the 200 EMA, the red line, and if we could get some follow through, it could take like 6 months to a year to get a significant bounce on the weekly chart. Might not spend too much time on this. It looks very similar to everything we just talked about. So it's another symmetrical triangle. I'm just going faster here for sake of time. So plus or minus like an average of 4%. So from the breakout, 4% would be 33.44. This top line here in the X, the blue X. 4% to downside would take us to the support of 30.60. And so I'm definitely watching those two levels. Again, on the oscillators, nothing. We just barely baby up crossed on our 1 hour EMAs, our 4 hour and a 1 hour is still in neutral zone, at least for these two indicators. It did set a lower high here on the RSI if I want to interpret it that way as well. But as it stands right now, the price is more towards the top side of the triangle. Does that make sense? Like this is what I'm staring at. It's not at the bottom anymore. It's more at the top. So, okay, maybe I don't want to push long into that until earnings. Okay, let's take a quick glance at USO. So oil been bouncing around. There's some additional developments with Ukraine and Russia as well. Definitely Boris Johnson resigning has an effect. It have a long-term effect as well on markets in Europe. So just something to watch out for. But to be honest though, and on USO, if I'm honest with myself, it is starting to down. It has confirmed a daily downtrend. Turn off all this indicators. Turn off all the indicators and just try to get a sense of what's going on. Right, we were in this yellow channel on this top side here, and then we broke down to the downside, lower low, lower high. So it's trying to test the ceiling right now, which is about $80. I'm looking at the USO ETF. Actually, I should be looking at oil futures to get some additional data. Okay, so oil futures, I changed the chart. CL1 is starting to pull back already. Right, so that's why sometimes futures data paid helps get a grasp on what's happening. So now we're in this little downward yellow channel, almost symmetrical. So we can bring up the parallel channel tool, which I like to use. And there's the middle half line. So that's basically our support target, $100. And then the 50% retrace, which I drew a long time ago, was $94. So I'm talking about this Fibonacci. You can't see it. There's a Fibonacci right here, which is it's a 2022 Fibonacci support level. So then I'm looking at the lower low. If it gets down there to $95, 100. If it breaks out, okay, it could happen, but it has to go to 107 probably, back down to 104, and then maintain its uptrend to all-time highs. But that is going to have some real supply demand effect that needs to happen. As it stands right now, it is starting to down cross to these short-term EMAs, and it's not uptrending anymore. Are we going to get bouncing around volatility? Of course, yes. But if somebody is using TA and trying to time it, right, there is a better double bottom right here on July 6th. I would not long it now because it's at the top of resistance. It's at the top. So the no FOMO mentality is, if I missed a setup, I learn from it and move on. I don't buy it because it's too high. The chances are higher that it's going to pull back down on me. Case in point, in terms of the channel, buying at this blue circle is better than buying at the X for long. Buying at this V-shaped recovery is better than buying at the X for long. Buying at this double bottom is better than buying at this resistance at the top. If I'm trying to green long like this, like a 3% to a 6%. This middle trade was questionable, so I'm not going to draw that one, but there's two trades here for swing trading. Boom, right here. June 22, there's a setup, bullish momentum reversal setup. There is one, and then there was one here on July 6th as well, but it's a futures chart, so not everybody's going to do that. It's educational. So just watch out for that. Let's go to natural gas. Natural gas also, we drew this support level last time, last stream, that right here on July 5th, saying watch out for this double bottom, the support, and then we bounced straight off of that. So again, 4%, did we hit the target? Yes, so this trade is done. This trade is done. We 70%, we're right here at the 100 EMA. It could pull back. Natural gas could pull back down and then get another leg up to 680, but in terms of trying to capture this support level down here on the educational setup, that was there. All right, let's see how much stop loss do we need. 3%. If somebody bought right at the support level, and then they'll be up 15% right now. But this is an this is natural gas futures, so only mostly professionals will be trading this. If we go to UNG, similar, but it's already starting to fade down. But still, we had the support level here. Last time, I think on last stream, we were talking about this leg. So we did bounce up, and then it crashed back down. So somebody had to take their profit. That's why the no FOMO mentality is, we don't buy high for trading. Try not to buy high for trading or whatever you're doing. Try to buy a setup. So there's a triangle here, support, and then the next like 2 days later, somebody, I don't know if they watched my stream or they just saw the setup, but it went up a lot on news as well. So it broke out of there as technical setup. 14%, beautiful. Disciplined swing trader, day trader would have sold already, or move their stop loss up, right? Like if this is actually this is 6%, so this is different, but they hit this 12% target and they immediately sold. So if somebody didn't sell, they probably stick their stop loss like right here, right? And move it up. But it's already starting to lose momentum, so I'm not really excited about that. There was opportunity here for the low RSI. There is a daily bullish momentum starting, but usually what happens in the day trading is usually probably pulls back before this thing pops up and explodes to the upside. So you just want to watch out for upside down head and shoulders on natural gas. It needs to break the neckline of 2063. USO on the daily, it's not as pretty, but there is a little bit of potential bullish momentum, but it might take a month or so to happen. Okay, next. Let's just take a look at, just because of the news, we'll just take a look at the UK 100 index, the UKX, and then we'll also take a look at the Nikkei. It's important because even though it seems like it doesn't have an effect on global markets, it does, because it happened on Friday. So markets were closed. So the additional volatility might happen tomorrow, even tonight. So at least the UKX, we had this double bottom. So it's good that we're holding the support level above 7,000 pounds. And that's good. Again, the bullish target, if we can hold it, 4% to the upside would be basically the top of the channel. So that's the purple line up here, the X, that's the bullish target. But because I could also interpret it as a consolidation. Okay, if it rejects down immediate from here, then we could go all the way back down to 7,000. So those are the two targets that I'm looking at in UK. 100. But to me, it looks like on the charts, the Boris Johnson PM resignation, the scandals, that was kind of already known for a little bit in terms of like people on the news were already talking about it like maybe a month or two ago about the no confidence vote and then possible resignation. So it was a little bit priced in. Okay, if we look at Nikkei 225, again, very shocking what happened. But in terms of markets, right, we did get the pullback, starting to get the pullback down from today. Okay, but in terms of the previous technical setup that was here, well, there was that support giant symmetrical triangle basically. So we were at the support level, and it's similar to American markets where we bounced up and we hit the resistance and we might pull back down. But still, the long-term target is if we could get up to here at 27,821, that would be the bullish target, just like June 2022. Let's just take a quick glance at China. So China pulling back starting today. Again, China was in this bullish run. We're starting to see news on China about COVID cases going up and how that might affect supply chain. So it kind of hit a topping out point. Even on the oscillators, we can see it starting to pull back on the daily, and we're finally getting that bear break to the downside. The weekly as well, we had a weekly doji up here, a candlestick, and then we gapped down for that. For the open today, we had a 4-hour up cross, but still here we can see that right when the support breaks is game over. So it's not going to crash down to zero. It's going to pull back down all the way to maybe a 12,350 or 12,210 before bouncing up just the day trader. So watch out for the downtrend reversal or consolidation on the Chinese index. Okay, let's go to gold, and then actually I'll just look at this and then we'll go to some finance stocks. So gold, we had the daily death cross that occurred on July 1st. And then we had the bear break to the downside. So again, the support was lost at 1800. We pulled back down all the way to 1737. And so let me go ahead and see. Let's get a Fibonacci up. I'm going to use the pandemic low as the Fibonacci start point just to see if there's any secret numbers. Okay, actually this one's better if I use 2019. It's the start of the uptrend basically. And so we did hit this 382 level. So that target was sitting there for a very, very long time. It's hard to see it because the price is right on it. But if I zoom in way in, you can see there's that yellow support line. So it was there. It was always there. Basically, Fibonacci traders were using the 236 to the 382 to the 50%, the big three levels. So you could see Fibonacci works. We rejected down from that, the rejected down, and then we lost the support level and boom, straight down to 382 support level. It is low though in terms of the RSI. The weekly is not quite super oversold, but the 4-hour is there. The 4-hour is bullish momentum. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little pop up in gold. But as it stands right now, I'll just draw a little triangle here, or two alerts, basically 1746 versus 1732. It's kind of hard to see, but I'll draw it in blue box. Here to here, right? So if it's just like Bitcoin. If this thing's gonna break out, where it has to pass through 1746 first, and then try to make it an uptrend to the next resistance level. If not, it might pull back down to support. Maybe it'll double bottom. That decent day trade there. But if it pulls back down and breaks down, then probably 1700 is the target. But RSI is neutral. It is losing a little bit of momentum on the 1-hour. The 4-hour there is there. It's trying to build something. So there's a 4-hour upside down head and shoulders here. That's potential on gold and the potential double bottom. So just watch out for a potential actual bull break up to 1750 or 1754. It might take some time, days or weeks, amidst the earnings. Okay, let's move on. We just close out with a couple of what's going to happen in earnings. So we did XLF. Let's take a look at JP Morgan Chase, some of these bank stocks. You know, a lot of people don't talk about bank stocks, but in terms of volume, it has quite a large volume. They're not the most attractive stocks. People like trading the meme stocks, you know, like GameStop, Tesla, AMC, you know, Coinbase. They like trading that long and short. But in terms of volume and market capitalization, it's, you know, at least on TradingView, $335 billion market cap. It's huge these are huge companies, right? So in terms of on the day chart, still in the downtrend. The daily death cross confirmed on March 2nd. These charts are going to look similar because some of these stocks are inside of the Dow Jones or S&P 500, so it looks similar. But there's slight nuance difference, right? In terms of this support, there wasn't that much penetration down to the downside, right? It didn't like crash down here and reverse back up like a meme stock. So it is interesting that JP Morgan Chase is riding the inside of the trend support line before earnings. There was a bullish momentum reversal set up here, and it popped. But in terms of gap support, let's draw it. There's 113, drawn in gray. 113, 115, 117, 118. I put some resistance. Now the support, 112, 110. So 110, 109, that's our big line in the sand. Interesting, this little double bottom structure. And again, the earnings is happening on 3 days, so I'm not going to obviously trade this, but we're trying to get a grasp on some targets here. So plus or minus about 3%. So if it goes up 3% on great earnings, 118 is the target minimum, which would also be basically the top of this trend line. So it double confirms 3% to the downside would be the bottom of the wedge. 110, 69. And then if it's 3% down from the bottom of here to the bottom of the trend line, which is 107, which we haven't hit this year. So that would be significant, 107 area if that happens. So just watching out for it. But in terms of investment, it's still pulling back. No signs of reversal yet on the day chart. If I take the pandemic low to high, the 618 is an interesting spot. The $108, if it gets $100 or 92, I mean, even I might want to buy some for investment if it crashes down that low again. But that's extreme though. That would take quite a bit of bearish pressure. So far the trend line support has been holding on the downside, right? Which has been good. So just watch out for that. And again, I personally don't trade anything. I don't take any positions before earnings. I always do it afterwards. Okay, next one. Let's do Wells Fargo because that's another American bank, US bank. Wells Fargo. WFC. So again, this chart looks different, right? It's not the exact same. It's similar, but it's not the same. That's why it's interesting practice or case study. Right, this particular trend line is a little bit strange, but there is a channel. So Wells Fargo already downtrending. This is confirmed, but a stronger bullish bounce than JP Morgan Chase. Obviously, right? It's higher on the bounce. JP Morgan Chase looked like this. Remember, it's just like down here and stuck down here. But this stock closely resembling the Dow Jones. But in terms of the triangle, to measure it, 5% to the breakout will take us pierce through the upper trend line to the gap resistance 4216 to the top side. 5% to the breakdown. Where is that? 3769. So this type of technical analysis, support, resistance, trend line, targets, I mean, this is just bread and butter, foundational, but it's extremely important because most people who are trading or investing, I would say, are not even thinking about this, right? So just the fact that we're here and thinking about this on a Sunday night before everybody else that's could be considered somebody's edge. It's informational edge, knowledge. And you have some general plans so nobody's panicking when the earnings pops. So I'll just leave it at that. Okay, let's go to TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor, because Taiwan actually, if you know your electronics and you know computers, Taiwan actually manufactures a lot of computer parts. It's not just China. So what's been happening with this stock? Still in the downtrend. Okay, very steep downtrend. All right, but it's been holding. At least it's been holding in a channel, right? So there's some consolation there. I do want to point out here, this is a beautiful case study. Actually, before we draw the trend lines, let me just hide that. It's beautiful case study. Very bad for the stock, but you can see here, understanding trend is extremely important because we went from this is the pandemic in the blue circle. This is our pandemic low. I can say L. This is our pandemic high, 2021. And then now we're here, right? So the skill with stock charts, and this applies to crypto too, is understanding that this left side was up, understanding this side was sideways, and understanding this side was down in real time. And getting to understand it faster because we had the break of support. Once we lost the support at 108, game over. I knew that's why I shorted, not because of TSM, but same thing happened on AMD, same thing happened on Amazon, right? So being here on TradingView, trying to do technical analysis, learning about it, practicing this chart and the Amazon chart is a very good practice. So I like TSM just for that. Let me go to Amazon and show you what I mean. Amazon, same deal. It looks almost the same. It went up on the left side. It went sideways for an entire year. And then we went down, right? So I had a giant trend line drawn for a long time. Once we lost the trend line of the bottom side, crashed down, hit the double bottom. We tried to retest it just like AMD, and then we failed. Then we have a double bottom here. So that's why I'm saying people are getting excited about the market now. But in terms of where was I going to sell my early 2020 position? Somewhere up here, especially when Jeff Bezos left the company. That was a pivotal change. So understanding what is uptrend, what is sideways consolidation, what is downtrend, basically mastering that will just save you in the market. It'll save me too. On any asset, stocks, crypto, ETF, Forex, whatever you're doing, any time frame. That's why it's foundations of technical analysis. Most people don't even think about this stuff. This information is critical. It's critical. So where are we with TSM? I'll just finish off. Let's get some support and resistance. We hit the 618. Okay, traders love that. If you're in crypto, you love the 618 Fibonacci. You love it. You love Fibonacci. It's great. But the problem is we have earnings. So, okay. The target is 84.15, 86.59. Resistance. Support to downside 70.67 and 75.78. So we're looking at these two spots. And somebody could just draw like 3 lines, 3 alerts, just to get a grasp on what's happening on TSM. All right, let's do one more. We'll move on to Forex and crypto. So Citibank did go long on this left side. That trade's over, and I sold some old setups. Interesting, Citibank is consolidating to the left side, right? Very interesting. So we have some serious trend lines on the top side right here. Okay. This was pretty serious when Citibank broke down and then bulls were trying to panic save it. Almost had a rally, broke down again, but now we're holding support level of above $46. So $46 line and stand for me. 2020, pandemic low to pandemic high. Yeah, lost to 618. So it's not like a tech stock, right? There's a little bit of bullish momentum here. Okay, great. But in terms of the support level, I'm looking at 45.52, 43.20, 42 in terms of longer term investment targets. Resistance 48, 49, and 51. And somebody could say, none of that matters. It just has to pass through one of these two. It has to pass through 48 or pass through 46. So just watch out for that. You can actually measure that. So plus or minus 4%. $50. And somebody watching this might be saying, oh, this is so boring, or why do we need to do this? Or, you know, this doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter because traders, algorithms, bot trading, I would say like experienced advanced technical analysis, are putting these types of levels on their charts, and so they know. So like an amateur, I would say, is just looking at their phone on like this, because this is on the phone, this is all we see, and we see like a mini chart. It'll look like more like this. We just get a little bit of data like that. So it doesn't help that much unless you memorize the price, which I don't recommend trying to do for 200 stocks or 100 stocks. It's we use a chart to help us. So it does matter, because if I'm going to short, maybe if it starts breaking down after earnings, I could initiate a short from the downside and go down, right? If it breaks long, then the breakout setup's not perfect, but I could try. I could try this, right? Or I could try this. If I want to short, I could try this. Or I could try, one of these, like shorting a top or something like that, right? So it's just technical analysis does work, but it depends on, like, does somebody know what they're actually doing with the tools here? TradingView is wonderful. TradingView is one of my favorite charting platforms of all time. But the thing is, new people ask me all the time in like real life too, is what do I need to learn as well? Do we know what price is? Like, do we know what candles are? Do we know what some of these tools are? Do you know what some of the basic indicators are? Do you know what's the difference between candles and lines, right? Like, if somebody doesn't know that, probably need to start there first, price. All right, take a quick look at the Forex majors, and we'll get to crypto, and then we'll end. If somebody has a request, please type it in the chat now before it's too late. So if you have a request for a chart or something, just go ahead and type it in the live chat right now. Just type it in, and then we'll get to it. All right, so look at Euro USD. All right, Euro USD, we had this, the day chart, the forex.com. We're approaching the dollar level. Okay, so here on the Euro USD, we've been in a downtrend for 1.5 years straight. Downtrending. We almost had a double bottom here at 103.5. Almost. But we hit the resistance and too much bearish news, and we failed. And then now we're down here at $1. I might have to bring up a different chart because there possibly is some information missing. That's why I like to look at other charts as well. Oh, okay, so this is the better one. We'll just use the Atlanta chart. Right. For this particular case, I might reverse Fibonacci extension. Or my Fibonacci like that. Okay, so we're hitting the 1272. Okay, this is obvious, right? So just like that, technical analysis, this is not floating in the middle of nowhere. This is hitting a definite level if somebody used the right tools. In this case, I use Fibonacci 1272. So it's still downtrending with this trend line on the top, locking it in. So until we break that trend line, it's downtrend for a day chart. That's why it's a little bit more black and white when we're on a daily chart. So we're hitting the bottom of the support here. Yes, there is a hammer candle. It's good. We hit the low RSI. Okay, great. It is low weekly RSI with the potential upside down head and shoulders on back to histogram on weekly. Great. We're starting to get a little bit of momentum on the 4-hour chart. Great. 1-hour chart's already been bounced up a little bit. So although there might be this upside down head and shoulders, so this potential educational setup, if this breaks bullish to the upside, there could be a 0.5% to a 1% move, which in Forex is a lot. A lot of pips right there, right? So, but for this stream, I'm just going to say percentage. So it's like a 1% to a 0.5%, because we have to think, if this 1018 is our resistance on the top side, and we have the dollar basically, or 101 right here, these are the two levels that I just have to pay attention to in the alerts. If it's going to break up to the upside, I need to know that. If it's going to break to the downside, that's okay. Just let it go down, right? But in terms of how am I going to capture it, right? There is a potential upside down and shoulders forming here. So I would, if anyone's trying to do Forex, maybe just watch out for this thing if this thing actually breaks bull. There's a lot of empty space up here for this thing to retrace. And the daily, weekly is oversold. But it might take some time. It might take after earnings certain season, like through earnings season and then after it might take some time, but it's still there. So just watch out for it because there is some buyer liquidity down here in terms of the hammer candle. We see it push down and then somebody bought that back up, right? And it's at the bottom of this trend line. So 2 months from now, we might see this retrace all the way up to 103.5 or 105 even, 103, 104. So just keep a note of that. Up here, I'm going to draw the target up here. However, in extreme bad case scenario, yes, we could hit the dollar parity, or it can even hit 96 cents. So watch out for that. Is there a secret pivot? There's a pivot here, so like 98, basically every like 2 cents. It's the target. Okay, USD JPY. Then we'll move to crypto. A lot of drawings here. USD. Wait. So now USD JPY. This is the USD JPY chart. So USD JPY has been in an uptrend for, wow, 3 months. Just an absolutely insane run. In terms of Forex, 20%. That's a lot. It's a lot for Forex. And again, sometimes the news, it's like, we have bad news. Why is it going up? Well, there's more economic implications than just the emotional reaction. Also, American markets have not had time to come online like the big players. So that's why I'm being cautious with this. The two scenarios, it could right here, we could get a little bearish momentum play where the price actually goes up and then we'll get the pullback down on the RSI. That's definitely possible on the daily. The weekly, though, I'm just saying it's getting to the danger zone, just like natural gas pullback, because this thing is probably not going to go up forever. USD JPY, it's starting to lose momentum on a weekly. It's a matter of time. So maybe within 3 months, maybe this thing might start to pull back. So in terms of FOMO, I'm not longing this. I'm not longing this. Why would I do that? Right? Because if I'm going to long it daily, on a daily, there was this low, because I know on a 4-hour, 1 hour, that was probably low RSI or something like that. But from this setup, I know there's danger. This is the storm that's brewing. This and this. Uh-oh, no, not good. All right, it's a matter of time. But between that, day traders are going to have their frenzy, Forex traders. So we did break bull out of the symmetrical triangle here. About 1% move. Did we hit that move? Not yet. It's 1 point. We do a conservative measurement. Thank you for watching, subscribing. Appreciate it. I'll just say a 0.5% from the breakout. So we did hit that, and that's where the bots and the algos, they just pumped it up and then they took the profit and they're done for now. So 1% move would take us to 137.93. So that's the upside second target. Watch out just in case for day traders, right? 15 minutes already popped. It's up crossed, but it's popped. 1 hour's up crossed and it popped. So sometimes what happens with these moves, if you study charts and experience a lot, it pulls back, it bounces up, and then it fizzles out at some point. So just watch out for that on USD JPY. All right. So before we move on to crypto, I just want to say thank you for watching and following. I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. If you want to join, please join, and to help support the stream. Donations are always appreciated here on TradingView, just to keep the stream going and the ideas flowing. So we appreciate that, and I always appreciate follows. Okay, so let's go to crypto. Start on a daily on a crypto. So we're on total market cap here. Total market cap. All right. So now what Bitcoin is, or total crypto is, we are still in the downtrend. It's seeking out the lower low. All right, lower low, lower high. Lower low, there was no lower high basically, then lower low. The only good news is is it's starting to consolidate a little bit. This is almost like Dow Jones, so I'd be a little cautious of this. What am I saying? This is we had a rally attempt and then we pulled back, just like Dow Jones, right? We want to watch out for it. Where's the support? Where am I looking at on total market cap? 868 billion range zone. Because we're basically having a little consolidation, a little bit of flag. It's not quite a pennant. It's a wedge going sideways. I think sideways is more positive than just going straight down, right? So the reason why I do my stream in a certain order is because the stock market has a very powerful effect on the crypto market, especially tech stocks, NASDAQ, because you saw the correlation. We just lived through history. Stock market crashes, this time Bitcoin crashed. So now how far is the question? Yes, there's altcoins that are going to pop up that's not even on my USA list, but that's crypto. There's always something moving in crypto. But this measured move, it's going to take some time. If it's 8%, basically 8% of the breakout would be 1.02 trillion. That's what I want to see. 1.02. I want to see that break down, which is not impossible. Negative 8%, 794 billion to the downside target. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, if you have a pro premium account, I always say set your alerts so you're not surprised by anything. Alt A, 939 billion. Just keep it fresh every time. Total potential breakout, question mark. Okay, then just lock it in. Now I have this red alert on the top side. So the bottom side, 846, Alt A. This is a little bit of that manual hustle, right? It's just it takes some effort to do it. Not everybody has the willpower to make alerts, but it's what saves you. If you're looking at a lot of stocks, if you look at one stock, then maybe you don't need alerts. But I look at a lot of assets. So total breakdown support, question mark, right? And then now I don't have to panic so much because I have a general idea. Okay, I understand if it breaks up to the upside, great. I have a general idea. Breaks down, same thing. But if I zoom out and not listen to the hype of social media, is understand we're still in a downtrend. Now the question is, where's the bottom of this market, the crypto market? Is it here? This might be a tradable bottom. Is this the absolute bottom of the crypto market? It's actually maybe. And I say maybe because of this low weekly RSI, which has never happened for almost 4 years. Maybe. And then this gigantic MACD histogram. So I know this chart looks absolutely ridiculous, but if we could hold here and make a upside down head and shoulders, that'd be great. But if not, it's gonna pull back down. So I'm still patiently waiting. Although somebody could make a case argument that, wait a second, we might have a bullish reversal this year. By the end of the year, somebody could make that argument because the weekly is starting to build so powerfully. But in terms of global thoughts, well, we have to get through earnings first, stock market earnings. It's going to be a rough 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks in stocks. And then we might see it spill over up or down into crypto general. But what I like to say is we hit this lower low, pretty significant crash down. But if we bounce up, the whole crypto market could recover like 20% to the upside. Definitely possible. So I'm not going to call it as the absolute bottom of the market yet unless I see stronger evidence. But there's a maybe in there. At least a tradable bottom for now. Okay, Bitcoin futures. Same thing. We just switched it to a weekly view. And almost a potential upside down head and shoulders on the weekly with the MACD histogram building and the low RSI, right? So for Bitcoin, it hasn't happened since 2019. But the problem is it's just the first time it entered into here. So if I really zoom in on this price, like what happened here is we had the crash and the Bitcoin Cash Civil War, which I lived through that on the internet. I witnessed it myself. I traded through that, right? It bounced up, and then we made the higher low here, and then I remember it was a rich Chinese cryptocurrency trader on multiple exchanges did some kind of incredible. It was like $4 million or $9 million order, and then that kickstarted the rally. So I kind of anticipate something like that probably has to happen again, where the whales or some whales need to come in and just buy, right? Somebody has to, either a positive catalyst or just a massive buy order has to kickstart the market to the back to the upside, right? Because right now people are starting to get back into stocks. I could feel it, and I sense it on the internet. Like people are telling me like, hey, what should I do in my stock portfolio? Or like people are just like talking about it, thinking about it, right? Because from two perspectives, just a quick side note, if somebody's down 80%, they likely quit the market. Like they lost all their money, unfortunately, they quit the market. But if somebody was cash and was waiting for 1 year, all of a sudden 2 years ago, 1 year ago, it was 66,000 Bitcoin, and then you turn on the computer and it's $20,000 Bitcoin, and like, wait a second, isn't that like 3 times lower, right? So some people are getting excited if depending on what happened, right? So I just want to point out here on Bitcoin, the TA is the potential upside down head and shoulders, or just you could call it a little consolidation happening here, a little bit of a fight down here. But the fact that it's low weekly RSI, we have this bullish MACD histogram, could take 6 months, could take a year. The last time we had this big one, it took 133 days. So 133 days would still be the end of this year, like the last quarter of this year. So it's not impossible. Not impossible. The fact is, though, we have to stop dropping in the price, though, meaning stop the selling. The panic needs to stop, the fear needs to stop, the selling and the shorting needs to stop, and then bulls need to come in and push the market, bid it up, buy it up, short squeeze, and then we'll have a big pop up in Bitcoin. Unless we get some major government catalyst news, like if some first world country legalizes Bitcoin, that would just, probably be the most bullish catalyst in recent months. So resistance to the upside, 23,000. We have our support, 20,000, 1850, 18,580. It's getting a little messy on this chart, but we are just below. Actually, we're just above the EMAs right now, but still you can see there's a bottom side trend line. So I wouldn't be surprised if we hit 2285 support before something happens. So look at this 4-hour chart. At this point in time, it starts to down cross. It's a little bit overbought. It was overbought. The 1 hour is not quite super oversold, so day traders are probably going to play around with this a little bit. The algos. 15-minute looks like there's going to be a little bit of a pop up in the next 24 hours. It's definitely possible, but watch out for the earnings, right? So like a plus or minus 1.5% because it's so low. There's already a bullish reversal setup happening on Bitcoin right now as I speak, but as we're streaming. But it's starting to death cross. So it's not like Friday where it was up crossed and then we had a breakout of this triangle and then it went crazy over the weekend, pulled back, lower high, and then we're down. So you have to watch out that America hasn't got their hands on this yet. Big Wall Street traders. All right, let's do Ethereum. Again, if you have any chart requests, stocks, Forex, commodity, crypto, please type in now. If you have a general question about technical analysis or trading view, go ahead and type in now. Now's your chance before I end in about 10 minutes. Or if you just want to say hi. So Ethereum, USDT, that's okay too. We see here, we have the downtrend, right, and the death cross. So Ethereum, there was the head and shoulders. I always tell people about this, head and shoulders mania. Right? I've seen cryptos crash negative 80% before in the past, 2018 and 2020. It's not impossible. It's definitely possible. Very similar to Bitcoin, so I don't have to do the same thought process again, but we're stuck here. We just back down from the resistance. So the immediate support is 1100 on the downside. If it breaks bull, 1243 is our resistance. If it breaks bear, we could see 1100, 1000, and 900. Just keep it easy, keep it simple on crypto. And then we have the 1500 target up here. So I would set more alerts, but for sake of time, that's basically the simple version. So same thing with Ethereum is it's very low weekly with a MACD histogram on the bottom side, right? So then if it breaks bull, it's 30%, 40%, 50% upside. So it's just a matter of, is this the bottom for the trade? And if it is the bottom, then I like to enter the trade on Ethereum. It's just, it depends on how long somebody's been in the market too. I remember when Ethereum was like $250 a long time ago, and now it's $1,000, right? If somebody just started 6 months ago, they would only have the frame of reference of, oh, Ethereum was $3,000 and now it's $1,000. So it's perspective matters in the market, relative perspective. The 1 hour is here with a little bit of bullish momentum forming. So we could see a little 1 hour pop to the upside, definitely possible. Just watch out though, it'd be short-lived. Okay, so I'm going to rapid fire the rest and then we'll close out the stream. Thank you for that positive comment. So it's going to turn to a line chart for sake of speed. So Binance Coin at the trendline support, but it's not really oversold on a 4 hour chart at least. But again, all these weeklies, except for this one, because Binance Coin already hit its 200 EMA, bounced off the 186 level. But it's looking very interesting. So if this uptrend remains intact, that's good. Because then we could see a potential reversal. In fact, but the bad thing is, if this reverses to a downtrend, consolidation, downtrend, then I'm not going to long that. Solana, same deal. Because you could see if I'm looking at buying points, well, here was one low one, right? There's triangle, there's this low setup, there's double bottom here, there's this low setup. So there are setups here. And then what's the reverse setup? Well, there is a hit the EMA. It's a little questionable, losing momentum. So sell, take the profit, right? So here, same thing here, hit the resistance level on the intraday. I could already know it's losing momentum. So sell. Now, if somebody's trying to be aggressive swing trader, that's 2 setup examples right there. But the fact is, would I touch this? Not really. Because I want a more convincing, I need a lower low. I need a way down here, maybe at 31 for Solana, maybe at 27. And the question is, do I even want to touch this coin? Because of the network that went down, right? Kind of lost the reputation, right? So move on from it. Cardano. Cardano holding support of 44 cents for now. It's good. Is it the lowest low ever? Not yet. But is there a potential bullish momentum? There could be, right? You can see a little bit more follow through of this crypto to the upside. There's a little bit of that bullish reversal here. So I want to see it bounce up to 46. Is it going to happen? Maybe if the support holds, right? But again, the big American money has not touched this yet. XRP for our international traders. XRP, all right, a little bit of this symmetrical triangle action on XRP on the 4 hour. We can measure this. 12%. 12% to upside, 37. 12% to downside, 30. That's all you got to do. Just play those 2 levels. Watch for the break of the resistance and the support. It is holding this general support line. So just watch out for that if it's going to hold or not. If it doesn't, it's very obvious going down to 32 cents or lower than that. 32, 31, 30. You can see it's already forming this downtrend. If we have a weak bounce, short's going to destroy that tomorrow. Right? But if it bounces, great. Higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. 33 cents all the way up to 34 cents. Beautiful trade. Okay, AVAX. AVAX. we will another sim triangle play on the 4 hours. So you can see that once I analyze Bitcoin, then it's easier to analyze the rest because a lot of altcoins just follow the big boy, Bitcoin. So lower low is 18 cents. Consolidation in here. So this could all be related. We have earnings coming up in 2 days from now, and then tech earnings is in 3 weeks from now, or 2 weeks from now. So it's all related about what's going to happen, right? High, low, high, low. If we go higher, high, 1916. The support to downside is 16 cents. We're looking at a 4 hour though, so it depends on what somebody's time frame is. 15 minutes down cross, 1 hour is testing the 200 EMA. Go faster here. The only thing good thing about DOT is the 4 hours at the 4 hour trendline support. But then if you look here, if we compare apples to apples, is the RSI really low? No, it's not. So if somebody were to buy this, it might get stopped out unless there's some bullish reversal news, right? If we do something like this, if it's 3%, might definitely get stopped out. So might have patience on this one if somebody's trying to really look at DOT, really wants to trade it. Just wait for the lowest price possible because it looks like it might break down to the downside a little bit more. For 4 hours at least. 1 hour it could reverse. 1 hour could reverse for a quick pop-up of 3%. DOGE. This is a little bit related to Elon Musk. Oh, and I'm probably going to end on Tesla on Twitter because I forgot to do that in the beginning. So we'll end on that. But DOGE, in a downtrend, it's just been in a downtrend ever since the DOGE mania of May 2020. So I got out of DOGE here. Just because technical analysis, there's a signal here that's saying this is getting a little bit out of hand, and then people were going berserk on social media saying that DOGE is going to $5 at this time, and I disagreed, and the charts was the truth. Not my opinion, I just listened to the charts. Head and shoulders, our size too high, losing momentum, then people are making extreme bullish calls. I'm out of there. Goodbye. And I haven't touched DOGE that much. I traded DOGE once here, captured this leg, and then once I knew we're downtrending hard, I'm like, no, I'm not touching that anymore. As an investor, no thanks. So the downtrend is still continuing, just losing that pivot point. So then, okay, if we're going to go downside, 0.57 or 0.47 could be the support levels to the downside. This is a daily chart. 4 hour is not quite super oversold. 1 hour is a little bit oversold, but it's already down cross on the EMAs. The 15 minutes already downtrending as well. So there is a plus or minus 2% volatility at least if somebody wants to try that. But for me, I'm being more patient. I'm not going to do all of them. Let's do SHIB. SHIB is a little bit different. We had this low channel here, the wedge, downward sloping wedge. There was on June 13 that nice reversal, but it looks like we just double top right at 1200. So then the downside targets the pivot point 994, 881, and 763. The only good thing is if this turns to upside down head and shoulders, phenomenal. That would be a very, very powerful move to the upside. So I'm just going to keep a side eye on this in case it breaks bull, because I already measured this targets. The blue up here is 1730. But not getting my hopes up for that. There is a lot of, again, on the weekly investing, there's a lot of power that's building up. We need to wait for it though. See on the weekly, can we see it? It almost retraced back down to the lowest on this chart, which is 627. So that's why I think people are getting excited about it. If we Fibonacci, it's probably below 0.88. Yeah, that's why. So relative from the top, it is discounted 86% approximately right now. That's why people are getting excited about it, which is rightfully so, right? If I'm a long, I want to get excited when it's cheap. It's like Amazon Prime Day and Target Deal Day, which is in 2 days from now. Or Black Friday sale for retail. If I want to buy something, I would like to buy the same product 50% off. That would be great. Would be great. Okay, let's end here. So we're gonna look at Tesla. Tesla, before I erase this, just want to note that it was in a symmetrical triangle with the breakout. Okay, so just want to watch out though, because the Germany factory is going to shut down for 2 weeks, so that might have an impact on the stock tomorrow. And then the Elon Musk Twitter lawsuit. Just want to watch out for that, because on our hourly, we're still on an uptrend. We're still on an uptrend here on the hourly, but then it's getting to that point where I know the day traders, they're looking to short this thing soon. So the Tesla news, the Twitter lawsuit could be a reason for them to try to short. It's not a perfect short setup, but just to give an idea of the target, is they could try to target like a 2% to the downside with a 1% stop loss on the upside. That sounds like nothing, but if somebody's shorting like millions of dollars, that's a big deal, right? So depends on perspective. So high, low. Is this our higher high? It could bounce up, but if it double tops, then definitely shorts are going to try to attack that. We're already starting to lose momentum on the 1 hour. Watch out for that. And again, the setup, if this breaks out, it could pull back to 716. I'm watching 716 before it breaks up to 772 again. So again, if you just look at this 4 hour, this RSI is on the high side, right? On the 1 hour, it's on the high side. If I want to long excuse me, if I want to long Tesla, which I did, I wanted to long down the bottom side, the support side. I long Tesla here and I sold it here before the reversal. Or did I sell it here? One of those, right? But still, skip profit. Here, I skipped this one because I was doing something else in the market. But there's another low here, and then having to hold that. This is uncomfortable, right? It's down, and it's up, and it's down, it's up, and then it's way down, and then it goes up. That's what the market does. Just like crypto, try to kick you out of your position. Got a hold. You ever played poker before? That's like somebody putting a bet and then staring at you, trying to scare you. So, but if somebody has an insane large amount of money, then that's too much money, right? If you can't sleep at night, just like Warren Buffett, he said, just have enough cash so you could sleep at night. And other professionals basically say, like, never all in one position, right? So for me, it was just one average position. Not a big deal. If I have a loss on it, no problem. No problem. Right? But the problem, if somebody's a beginner or amateur, going all in, that's no risk management. That's like going to a Best Buy or a electronics store or a grocery store and spending all your money at one time. That's almost the worst money management possible, right? So stocks the same thing. Never all in. There's that quote in my Discord. Let me just bring it up because it's so good. Right here. This is this quote by Joe Vidich, professional trader investor. He said, limit your size in any position, so trading or investment, so that fear does not become the prevailing instinct guiding your judgment. Meaning, don't oversize any trade or investment so that all you feel and think is fear. So that's why you never hear me go all in, because that's the worst risk management possible. Like, if I all in, I could only be wrong like 10 times and then I'm wiped out, right? It's not smart. So if you've been following me, we talked about risk management a lot. There's risk management article in my Discord as well on the risk management calculator that no one really thinks about, but it's in there, right? This is how I survived and thrived as a trader for a long time. So Tesla just hit that resistance, and it could pop up again. It could try to pop up to like an 800, because it's Tesla. Everyone likes Tesla cars. EV's hot. So if we get a pullback, it could try to push up. I just watch out for any reversal before another pullback down, whenever or wherever it happens on the chart. Okay, Twitter, we're going to end here. Okay, so Twitter, market's not open yet. So Twitter, Elon Musk in a lawsuit, he backed out of a $44 billion deal over the spam data. And it sounded like for the past month that the deal was going to go through, but now it's not. So we're talking about $44 billion lawsuit that's at stake. Okay. So instead of me trying to give my one person opinion on it, let's just do the technical analysis. So where's our support? Where's our resistance? What is happening? We have a gap resistance on the top. We have a support level on the bottom side. So our support level is 34.30 in most recent price action, 34.30. The gap resistance 41.46. It's been stuck between there. And what's the trend? It's been obviously downtrend. It's been obviously downtrend. And there's actually a strange long trend line this way. There's also a trend line this way as well. It depends on how somebody interprets it. But for now, it's still downtrending this year, so I'm going to leave it as such. We had the death cross on November 2021. We have some invisible supports here, just mathematically calculated by TradingView. 34, 33, 31, but that's all discoverable just on price alone. Somebody could interpret this as a little symmetrical triangle that we just lost on Friday post-market. That's why that went down. So the measured move is plus or minus 13% or 10%. 13% brings it straight down to 33, which is where we measured. 13% to the upside is, wow, right into the gap support. So all of this TA is lining up. Confluence. It's all supporting each other. For me, I'm actually not going to touch Twitter or Tesla. Why? Because I learned that the overcrowded trades, because who's in there, right? Who's in there? $1 million traders, billion-dollar algorithms. Wall Street got their hands on their longs and shorts. Global traders, anybody who knows Tesla Twitter with the stock account is going to try to get in it. So actually, sometimes I'm a contrarian. If everybody's going to do it, I'm not going to do it sometimes, right? So for this week, I might not even touch Twitter or Tesla this week because it's so obvious, right? Sometimes the obvious trades are the most dangerous because everybody's in it. And why is it dangerous? Because if somebody has like a $10,000 position or account, and then somebody with $1 million comes in and tries to kick somebody out of that position, the $1 million trader is probably going to win that fight in the market. So sometimes got to understand who are the players, and how powerful are they? How crowded is the trade? Is the setup even good? Do I need to do it right now? Like, do I need to trade Twitter tomorrow? No, there's no rule that says I have to do that. So I'm actually not going to do it personally, but other people are. That's fine, right? I have other, I do other things in the market besides trading news. The only good thing is it's getting to that oversold range. So once the volatility kind of completes in terms of the news, I want the news to get priced in, whichever way it's going to go. And then we have earnings on Twitter on July 22nd. That's 12 days from now, right? So there's probably going to be quite a bit of volatility here. I might come back to Twitter after all the storm passes. Then I make my decision as an investor. But again, it's Elon Musk. So it's like, Elon Musk, he's a very active person, right? So whatever he works on there's a lot of active changes going on in it. So like Tesla, Twitter, at some point Dogecoin, right? So those are just some thoughts to think about. Okay, so we lost the symmetrical triangle. We have some. It's probably going to battle out down here with the shorts. Right? It could go. One scenario could break up and then shorts crash it back down. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. So he wanted that spam data. He wanted the other data, and then just they didn't deliver it on time, or they wouldn't let him have it. So, but either way, that's the thing. Everybody who knows tech stocks kind of knows about the trade. That's why this particular Twitter trade, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Yes. So that's why if everybody knows about the trade, I'm gonna pass on it. So there you have it. We have some support and resistance and such as well. So just always remember, everybody, like I said in my Discord, I always say this in my Discord at the bottom. This is just educational. It's not financial advice. And beware of any breaking news, global news, fundamental news that can override technical chart setups. Utilize risk management. What does that mean? Position sizing, stop loss, profit target. And then there's also emotional control in there in terms of if somebody like struggles with the FOMO and stuff. Right? Anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And again, if you like this stream, if you learned something, go ahead and give me a follow on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. And again, this is a educational stream. And just remember that we have stock earnings that starts this week, goes for about 4 to 6 weeks. And we're probably going to see some effect on stock market and crypto market as well. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a nice week. I'll see you next weekend. Bye-bye. Before I sign off, I also want to say thank you so much, Taylor, for the 200 coins. You donated, Taylor donated 200 coins for me last time on TradingView at the end of the stream or when I was off. So thank you so much for the donations. I really, really appreciate it. And it helps me a lot. It means a lot to keep the stream going and ideas flowing. So I'll see you all next time. Thank you so much.